Let's focus on the Springboks mentality in that game. Where did they go wrong?
I think it was around probably 10 minutes to go where suddenly the scores were still 29-all. And you could see players, this was never part of the script. And so the expectation that you should be ahead by 15 or 20 points at this time, now suddenly players want to fall back onto plan B and they want to problem solve. But we had guys with different problem solving strategies. So suddenly instead of having a very coherent single plan, people tried to do things individually and we lost a little bit of the momentum. And the Japanese just bounced on that.
You had to treat the psychological wounds of that defeat. In simple terms, how did you approach the problem?
It's something I borrowed from special forces. If you look at how people function under pressure, the big thing when you get under pressure is that it's not your lack of skill or ability, it's about the application of skill or ability. I think it's Mike Tyson had a beautiful saying that everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. And that's so true because at Japan we got punched in the face and we didn't know what to fall back onto. So we use a system of trigger words where a single word means something that everybody knows how to behaviorally respond. We made sure that the boys were behaviorally ready to respond to that. And I think in the way forward from there onwards, it definitely helped us to respond better when the pressure was on.
The Springboks often excel when their backs are against the wall. Do they need to be angry to win this game?
That's a really good question. Now, if you look at the pure term anger, it means it's an emotional reaction. Now, back to my previous comment, it means there's a chemical reaction in that part of the brain which you don't want.
The Springboks need to continue with
now, there's a difference between controlled aggression and anger. Controlled aggression is how you execute the things that were conditioned in there. That's the part you want. What you don't want is anger, because it takes you away from where you're supposed to be.
stay calm and in control.
Let's focus on the Japanese. This is a team that's known for their mental toughness. What makes them so strong?
So I think a big part of their mental toughness is their ability to follow instruction, execute a game plan, work hard, respect the opposition, but also I think it's an old samurai saying that it's death before dishonor. So that they will throw the kitchen sink and everything else they can find at you. Where sometimes I think in other cultures you reach a certain point, you're going to feel this is enough, I'm tired, and hopefully professionals don't get there nowadays. But you almost feel like the Japanese just have that absolutely relentless mindset where they'll keep on coming at you all the time.
They've already made the quarterfinals of this World Cup. You could say they have nothing to lose. Will that play into their favour?
I think for the first time, actually, things are going to change for them because they've been the underdogs up to now. So, yes, there's been a bit of expectation, them being the home nation, but suddenly finishing top of the pool, now there's a weight of expectation. So I think for the first time, they're going to perhaps feel the pressure.
Let's imagine South Africa meets the All Blacks in the final. Psychologically, who has the upper hand?
I think by the time we get there, it would be nice because we would definitely be seen as the underdogs. And if that is the case, we don't do badly when we're in that position. It sometimes seems like the pressure is too much on us that this is where we tend to stumble. All Blacks might think they have the upper hand. I think in a World Cup final we've seen from history anything can happen. So I think our boys will back themselves that if they can get themselves there, that they can lift the cup.